Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Faizan Khan, and in this video we are going to see how we can build this sign up and login form using Python and Tkinter. This login and sign up form uses MySQL database to store the information and to get the information. So this project is for beginners who wants to learn how Python works with MySQL database. I'm gonna teach you everything from scratch step by step. So just follow along, and by the end of this video you will have one project ready for your resume. Let me show you how this project works. So we have the sign up form. We need to enter these details: name, email, password. After filling the details, you need to click on this sign up button. Once you click on this sign up button, you can see that registration is successful. Once you'll click this OK, you will be redirected to this login page. Here you need to enter the same email address which you have used while registration. If you'll enter some other email address or password, then you will be getting an error. Let me show you. If I use some random email and some password, you can see it says invalid username or password. So I need to enter the same email address that I have used for registration and the same password. Suppose if the password is wrong, then also you will get this error message. So after entering the correct email address and the password that you have used for registration, then only you will be able to see this success message. And yeah, of course, if the fields will be empty and you try to log in, it says all fields are required. Okay, and if you are new, then you need to sign up here. You will be redirected to the sign up page. And here also, if you leave any field blank and you try to sign up, here also you will see that all fields are required message box. So we can't keep any field empty. And if you try to register with the same email again, it says email already exists. So every time you will have to use a new email in order to register. So now registration is successful. So this is the functionality of this login and sign up form, and this is the GUI part that we are going to design just now. If you are new to this channel, make sure you subscribe to it and like this video. It will boost my confidence, and let me know in the comment section what do you think about this project. And yeah, this registration information is getting stored in the MySQL database. So let me show you that. This is MySQL command line client, and here I need to go to the database. Mine is this users data. Now I need to see tables of this database. There's one table with name data, so I need to see the information of it. So I'll write this command or query. So till now these many registrations are done, so you can log in with these emails and these passwords. If you will try to use some other email or password, then you will be getting an error. Okay, so whenever you will register any user, that user information will go inside this data table, and from here you can access that email and password to log in. Don't worry if all this is new to you, because I will be explaining everything from the start. I'll show you how to create the database and how to create the table and how to add information in that table. So let's get started. So first of all, we need to design this GUI. So firstly, we'll be creating this sign up form. Okay. And later on, we'll be creating this login form. So I hope you have Python and PyCharm already installed on your PCs. If not, I will attach the link of how to download and install Python and PyCharm in the description of this video. So we need to open PyCharm and select this new project. Here you need to give a project folder name. It can be any name like sign up login form, and then select any base interpreter. It can be in any interpreter. I have multiple interpreters in my PC, so any version of Python will work here. I'm going with the latest version, and then make sure this is ticked and click on this create button. I want this project to open on a new window, so I'll select new window here. So our project setup is getting ready here. Once loading is done, you can simply select all and delete everything. So this is our Python file where we will write our Python code. So as I told you, firstly we need to create this GUI look. So in Python we have different libraries to create the GUI. There is one inbuilt library which is known as Tkinter, which helps in creating GUI very easily. But we are going to use the extension library of Tkinter, which is known as customtkinter. And it's not an inbuilt library, so we'll have to install it. So this customtkinter library helps in creating modern looking GUI. So we can go to terminal, and here we need to type pip install customtkinter like this. Once this library is installed, you can simply import it in your Python file. So you will write from customtkinter import asterisk. With the help of this line, you will be able to use all the classes and methods of this library in your Python file. Okay. So firstly, we need to create the window, right? So for creating the window, there is one class inside this customtkinter which is known as CTK, and we have to create its object. An object name can be window, okay, or we can call it sign up window. So this single line will simply create a window for us. If we run at this stage, you can see that we are getting one error, module not found packaging. So we need to install this module. So go to terminal again and type pip install packaging. Once this is installed, now you can right click and run this main file. You can see that we didn't get any error and our code ended successfully, right? But we were not able to see the window. The reason is because this code executed very fast, so our eyes were not able to see that window. So in order to see the window, we need to keep our window on hold. For that, we have one method inside this CTK class which is known as main loop. So in order to use that method, we'll be using this signup window object variable dot main loop method. So this method keeps our window on screen. So we can see our window continuously on the screen with the help of this main loop method. On running this, now you can see that we are getting a window. Now of this window, we can add the title. So as you can see, currently the title is CTK, but we can change it. Then we can fix the window width and height. Okay, we can also change the background color, and we can add these things on it, right? So let's do one by one. So firstly, let's set the title. So again, we have a method inside this class for the title. So we'll use the signup window object variable dot title method, and here we'll have to pass the title in the form of a string. So title will be signup window, like this. Now if you run it, uh, if you maximize it, you can see the title is changed, right? Next, we'll have to fix the width and the height of our window. For that, again we have a method which is known as geometry, and here again we'll have to pass the width and the height in the form of a string. Width that I have used in my original project is 400 and the height is 500. Make sure you use this small x in between. Okay, and you are free to change this width and the height according to your choice. Now if I run it, you can see the window size is changed. After that, I will disable this maximize button so that our window is of fixed size and nobody will be able to maximize or minimize it, right? So for that, again we have a method which is known as resizable, and here we have to pass the false value for the width and false value for the height. This will disable the maximize button. So now it's disabled and window is of fixed size. Another thing is, if I run this, you can see the position of the window is here right now, right? If I run this again, you can see the position is changed. If I run it again, so every time you will see a different position of your window from the x and the y axis, right? So I want to fix this. So what I'll do, I'll use plus symbol, and here I'll mention the distance from the x-axis. So I'll mention 300 distance from the x-axis and 100 distance from the y-axis. So every time you will see your window at a 300 distance from the x-axis and 100 distance from the y-axis. Okay. Now the next thing that we need to create is a frame. So everything that you see on this window is inside a frame and not directly on the window. Okay, so firstly we create a frame, and inside that frame we will be adding these labels, these entry fields, and then this button. Okay, and then this text. So frame is nothing but a container inside which we can add labels, text areas, entry fields, buttons, and all these. So we can create a frame using the frame class, and make sure you write everything between this line and this line. Okay, anything after this line will not be executed. For example, if I print my name, you won't see the output, right? Because what this main loop method is doing, this is keeping these statements on a loop. So these statements are continuously running. So the control is not going to this line number 9. Okay. So in order to see the result of this print statement, you will have to close this window. Once you close this window, then this line number 9 will be executed. Okay. So make sure you write everything between before this main loop. Okay. So we'll have to create a frame, and in order to create a frame, we'll be using this CTK frame class, and this is present inside this custom Tkinter library. Inside this parenthesis, firstly we'll have to mention that where you want to see this frame. We want to see this frame on our window, right? So we'll have to pass the name of our window, which is sign up window, and we'll create object of this frame. I'll name the object as sign up frame. Why I'm creating the object? So that I can use the methods of this class using this object variable. So first method that I'm going to use is the grid method. So what this grid method is used for? It is used to uh, position this frame on our window. I mean where you want to see this frame. And this grid take values in the form of rows and columns. So you'll have to mention row 0, column 0 to see it at the starting position, row 1, column 1 to see it at row 1 and column 1, and so on. You'll understand this, don't worry. So as this is the first thing we are adding on our window, so I need to add it at row 0 and column 0. Okay, now if I run it, you can see that a frame is added at the starting position. Okay, so it's row 0 and column 0. Suppose if I add another frame, so I'll copy this frame and paste here. If I change row to 1, then after this frame, this second frame will be added, as you can see here, right? So this is frame 1, this is frame 2. So this way grid helps in adding things on our window. But we don't require this second frame. We'll use only our sign up frame. Now inside the sign up frame, we will be adding these things. So firstly, you see this join us today label. So let's add this label. So in order to create a label, we again have a class ctk label. We'll use it. Where you want to see this label? You want to see this label inside this sign up frame, right? So we'll pass this sign up frame here. Then what should be the text on this label? So the text should be join us today. So if I run at this stage, you are not seeing any label here. The reason is that you have just created the label, but you have not gridded it, right? So we'll have to grid it. So before that, let's create this label object. So I'll name it heading label. And with the help of this heading label variable, I'll use this grid method, and here I'll pass row 0 and column 0. Why row 0, column 0? Because inside the sign up frame, this label is the first thing getting added. So once you grid it at row 0 and column 0, now you will be able to see this label, as you can see here, right? But as you can see, the font is too small here, so we can change it. So just after this text, we will be adding font for the text, and font has to be in the form of parenthesis. This is known as tuple. Okay, so firstly we'll have to mention the style, which is Bookman old style. You can check different font styles that you can use in Tkinter on Google, like there is Arial, Times New Roman, etc. After style, you have to mention the size. So I'll mention size as 40px, and then we have to mention whether you want the text to be bold, italic or underline. So I want the text to be bold. Now if you run it, you can see the size is changed. After this, I'll change the text color. Let me minimize this. So for text color, you'll have to use this property text color, and you have to pass the value in the form of a color name, and it can be any color. like for example gray 20. So gray 20 is one of the color which is a shade of gray, and you can also check the colors that you can use in Tkinter on Google. Okay, so this is a shade of gray. I will provide some vertical padding to this frame so that I can see some spacing from the top. So to this frame grid method, I will add pad y for vertical padding, and I'll provide 30 px like this. Okay, and then you can change the background color of this frame as well as of this window and make it white. Currently this is not white. Okay, so firstly let's change the background color of our window. For that we'll use this configure method, which is used to change the background color, okay, or to update the background color. And here I'll pass the fg color, which will set the background color, okay, the display color, and I'll make the color as white. You can see the color is changed. Similarly, you can change the frame color to white. So here is our frame, and I'll add fg color to white like this. After this, we have to add this line, sign up now to become a member. So again it's a label only, so I'll copy this label and I'll paste here, and I'll change the uh, label name to subheading. Okay, and here also I need to change, and then I'll change the message like this, and then I'll change the font. So style will remain as it is, size will be changed to 20, and I'll not make the text as bold, so it will be a normal text, and then the text color will be gray 20 only. Okay, and this time where I want to grid, I want to grid just below this heading label, right? So I'll change the row value to 1 like this. Now the next thing is we have to create this entry field. Okay, and this can be created with the help of ctk entry class. So we'll use this ctk entry class, and where you want to see this entry field inside the frame, right? So I'll add sign up frame here. Then I'll mention the placeholder text, which is name, right? And I'll create object of this name entry, and then I'll use this object to grid it so that we can see this entry field on our window. So where I want to grid it, just below this subheading, right? So I'll change the row value to 2 and column will still be 0 like this, right? Currently text font is this, but I want to change it to this font. So I'll copy this font from here and I'll paste here. So now see the font is changed, right? After that, I will be adding some height to this entry field. So height will be 40 like this, and then I will add some width. So width will be 380, which I have used in my original project like this. Okay, and then I will be adding some padding on the left hand side, right? So for that we have pad x 10. Okay, this will add 10 padding on the left as well as on the right hand side. So you'll see some spacing on the left and the right hand side. Okay, And then there should be some padding between this sign up now to become a member text and this entry field, right? So here I will add pad y, and I just want bottom padding. So for bottom padding, I'll make top padding as 0 and bottom padding as 20, like this. If I'll mention just 20, then padding will be applied at the top also and at the bottom also, same padding 20. But I don't want any padding at the top. For that, I will have to add this thing in parenthesis, and I'll mention 0 for the starting padding. Okay, like this. Next, we have to create enter email entry field, and this will also be created in the similar way. And instead of enter just name, it will be enter name placeholder text. Okay, so what I'll do, I'll simply copy it, as all the entry fields are similar, right? So I'll paste here. I'll change the object variable name to email entry. Okay, and you can place multiple cursors in PyCharm using the Alt key and mouse left button. So this will be enter email. Then font will be same, height, width will also be same. Okay, the row value will change to 3. Okay, if I don't change the row value and keep it 2, then it will overlap the name entry, right? But I want it below name entry, so I'll mention row 3, like this. Okay, and again I want spacing between the two entry fields, so I'll add pad y. Okay, top will be 0 and bottom padding will be 20. Then we have to create this choose a password entry field. This can also be copied and pasted. So placeholder will be text will be changed to choose a password. Font will remain as it is. Height, width again will be same, as we have to create all entry fields in a same way, right? Row value will change to 4. Okay, and on running this, again you can't see spacing between email and password entry field. So to this email entry field, I will be adding pad y, like this. Okay, and I'll change the object variable name also here. This will be changed to password 1 entry. Okay, and after choose a password entry, we have to create this re-enter password entry. So I'll copy this again and I'll paste here. I'll change the object variable name to password 2 entry. Okay, and then I'll change the text to re-enter password, and row value will change to 5. Okay, and we will have to add pad y, like this. Next thing is we have to create this sign up button. Okay, so for creating a button, we have a button class which is known as ctk button. Then again we have to pass firstly where you want to see this button. I want to see this button inside this sign up frame, so I'll pass this sign up frame. Okay, then what text you want to see on this button, so I want to see the text as sign up. Okay, then the width of the button has to be same as the width of the entry field, right? So we'll take this width, and if I run at this stage, you won't be able to see the button. The reason is that you have just created the button but you have not gridded it, and in order to grid you will have to use the variable. right? So we'll create a variable sign up button, and we'll use this variable to grid, and we'll pass row value as 6 and column value as 0. Okay, because we are not making any change in the column value. So on running, you can see that our sign up button is created, right? But again, we need to provide vertical padding. So I'll copy this and I'll pass here. Okay, and I'll also provide height to this button, height as 40. Okay, then I can change the font of this button. So I'll copy this font from here and I'll paste here, and I'll make the text bold as well. If I run it, this is how it looks. Then I can change the text color of this button. So I'll write here text color and I'll change to white like this. And just below this sign up button, we have to create this already a member and login here button, right? This is a label and this is the button. So we are going to create one frame using the CTK frame, and this frame will be inside my sign up frame. So a frame inside a frame. Okay, and I'll grid this frame, and I'll grid this frame at row 7 and column will be 0. Okay, so just below this sign up button, this frame will be created. All right, and now inside this frame we will be adding the label and the button. All right, so what I'll do, I'll copy one label from the top, for example this one. I'll paste here. This time I want this label inside this frame, right? And the text will be changed to already a member. Row value will be changed to 0. Column will also be 0, right? Why row value 0? Because inside this frame we are adding first thing. This subheading is the first thing, and we can change this subheading label name. We'll make it member label. If I run it, you can see that label is created, right, inside a frame. I'll add some pad y here after the button. So from the top 0 and to the bottom 20 px like this, and then I will remove the pad y from here. Yeah, this is fine. Okay, and now after this label, just next to this label, we'll have to create one more button which will be login here button. So I can copy this button and I'll paste here. Firstly, I'll change the frame name to frame. Okay, because I want this button inside this. So the button name will also be changed. It will be login here button. The text will be changed to login here. After that, I want to make it underline, not bold. Okay, so I'll make the font underline. Then the text color will be blue, and then row value will be 0, but this time I want this button next to this member label, right? So column will change to 1 like this. Okay, and this is going outside of the screen because of the width thing. So I'll remove the width. Now it's fine. And then I'll remove the height as well. Okay, and now I want to change the background color of this frame and this button to white. So of this frame, I'll change the background color, which is represented as fg_color, and this will be changed to white. And similarly, this button background color will also be white like this. And why these two are not at one level? This is because of this pad y. So if I remove this pad y from here, now it's fine, right? And you can see that when I'm hovering on this button, the color is changing, right? I want to change the hover color as well. So I'll write hover color to white. Now when I'm bringing my mouse on this button, nothing is happening, okay? And next thing is, when I bring my mouse pointer on this button or this button, the symbol should change to hand symbol. Okay, for that we have one property which is known as cursor, and its value has to be hand 2 like this. Okay, so inside this login here button and inside this sign up button, you can add that property, cursor equals to hand 2. Now if you run it and bring your mouse pointer on this buttons, you can see the hand symbol, right? So you must be thinking why I have added these two things inside a frame and not directly inside the outer frame. If I don't add it inside this newly created frame and directly add them in the outer frame, like if I change the frame name to sign up frame, and here also if I change the name to sign up frame, and suppose let me just comment this frame. Okay, and this is at row 6, so this will be at row 7, right? And then this one will also be at row 7, but the column value will be 1, right? Because it has to be just next to this already a member label. So if I run it, you can see that we are not seeing that button. As you can see, all these things is at row 0, right? So row 1 will start just after this, from here onwards, okay, outside of this screen. So that's why we are not able to see that button, okay? But if I add a frame, so this I have added at row 7 column 0, right? So this will be added just below this sign up button, right? And now since it's a frame, we can add things from the start, I mean from row 0. So I'll change to row 0 column 0. So this is the first thing we are adding inside this frame, and then this is the second thing we are adding inside this frame. Okay, so inside this frame, these two things will be added. As this frame is at row 7 column 0 only, so both things will be added at row 7 and column 0 only. I hope you are getting what I am trying to say. Okay, we are seeing this already a member at the top. This is because we have not changed this sign up frame. So this has to be a frame, right? And this row will be 0 only, like this. So our sign up window is ready now, and it's same as in my original project. And now we need to design the login window. So whenever I'll click this login here button, we should see a login window, right? So let's see how we can do it. So when we are clicking on this login here button, a function will be called. Command will be login page. Okay, this is the function name and we are calling it from here. So we need to define this function also, right? So we'll define it at the top, just after these import lines. So here you can add a comment that this is the functionality part and this was the GUI part. So here I'll define that function login page. Inside this function, I'll firstly print my name just to show you how this will work. So if I run it, and as soon as I'll click this login here button, this function code will be executed. So there is print statement, so this will be executed. So you can see whenever I'm clicking on it, this Faizan Khan is getting printed on the console, right? But we don't have to print this. What we have to do, we have to see a new window. Login window, right? So to see a login window, what we will do, as you know, we have added everything inside this sign up frame, right? If we remove this sign up frame, so we will not be seeing all these things, these headings, subheading, name, entry, password, buttons, right? We won't be able to see these things. So we can remove this frame and we can create a new frame, and inside that new frame we can add things for our login window. So how can I remove this? So I'll use this variable which is sign up frame, right? There's one method which is known as grid forget. Okay, so now if I run it, and as soon as I'll click here, you will see the frame will be removed. So once the frame is removed, as everything is inside a frame, so by default these things will also be removed, right? So as soon as I'll click this, you can see the frame is removed, right? So now since the frame is removed, I can create a new frame which will be a login frame. Okay, and as you know, the frame is created with the help of CTK frame class, and this frame will also be created in a similar way. So this will be inside my window first of all. So I'll pass sign up window and then I'll change the color to white, right? So firstly, let me just pass that I want to see this frame inside my sign up window. Okay, and then I need to grid it. So I'll write login frame dot grid and I'll grid it at row 0 and column 0 because I want to see it at the starting position only, right? Now if I run it and if I click on it, you can see that a frame is created, login frame. Now inside this login frame, we can add things that you see in the original one. So if I click on original login here button, you can see this is the login page. So we'll be adding this heading, welcome back, then this subheading, login in to access your account, and these two entry fields, then this button, and then this text and the button. So everything will be created in the similar way, just like we have created in the sign up page, right? And as you have noticed, the window size is decreased, right? So we'll have to change the window size as well. So in order to change the window size, we'll be using window object, which is sign up window dot geometry. Will update the geometry, and here the width will be 400, height will be 370, and then the placement from the x-axis will be 300, and then the placement from the y-axis will be 100. Now if I run it, as soon as I'll click this login here, you can see the window size is decreased. Okay, so inside this login frame, we have to add heading and subheading. Okay, so I'll copy these two from here only, and I'll change the text and other things. So I'll paste here. So firstly, instead of sign up frame, we have to add these headings inside this login frame, right? So if I run at this stage, once I click on this login here, you can see that these two texts are added, right? But we don't have to add these texts, we have to change the text. So here the text will be welcome back. And here the text will be login into access your account. Now if I run it, you can see the text is changed, right? Just like we have changed the background color of the frame in the sign up form, similarly we'll have to do it here. So for this login form, login frame will be changing the foreground color, which is FG color, and it will be white. So you can see it's white now. After this, we'll have to add uh, email and password entry fields. So we can again copy email and password entry fields from here. And I'll change the name here, and I'll make it login email entry. Okay, similarly, login password entry, like this. Okay, then instead of sign up frame, these two has to be inside this login frame. Okay, then enter email placeholder text is fine, but instead of choose a password placeholder text, it will be enter password, like this. And then you can change the row values, it will be 2, then this will be 3, like this. Okay, and also to this login frame I'll add some top padding, vertical padding. Okay, top and bottom vertical padding. So I'll mention pad y equals to 30, like this. Okay, and just below this we have to add the login button. So just like we have created the sign up button, this one, in the same way login button will be created. So I'll copy this button and I'll paste here, and I'll change the button name to login button, and the text here will be changed to login. All right, then row value will be changed to 4. Just below this login password entry, we are creating this login button. So we are not seeing this. Why? Because we have not changed the frame. So instead of sign up frame, we want to see this inside this login frame, like this. Okay, and just below this we have to add the text that if you don't have an account, sign up. So we can add that by copying from here. We'll change the text. Instead of already a member, the text will be changed to not a member, and instead of login here, it will be changed to sign up here. Okay, and I'll change the button name to sign up here. Okay, so as you can see, I have changed the button names, but I'm not changing the label names, because label names we are not going to use further, but these button variable names and the entry field variable names will be using later on. So that's why each entry field name has to be unique. Okay, but since label names are not required further, so we can use the same label name here also and here also, not a problem. Okay, and in fact, without using the variable name for a label, it will work fine. For example, if I remove this, then for using the grid method, you'll have to add the grid method at the end. Okay, so after creating a label, then you can put dot and put the grid method like this. So if I run it, still it will work fine. We didn't see it because we forgot to change this sign up frame name here. So this frame has to be inside this login frame. Now if we run it, so you can see that it's working fine. So everywhere you can do this change for a label, because label variable name are not going to be used further in the functionality part. Okay, so our GUI for the login page is also completed. And now when I click on this sign up here, uh, this login page window should change to sign up window, right? So what I'll do, to this sign up here button, I'll change the command name to sign up page. And as it is a function name, so we need to define this function. So we'll go at the top, and just below this or just above this login page function, you can define that. So def sign up page, and here firstly we need to close this frame, login frame, right? So we'll write login frame, but you can see the red line here because this variable is not defined for this function. So in order to use this variable inside some other function, so we'll have to make this variable as global inside this login page function. So I'll write login frame as global, like this, global login frame. Okay, so now you can use this variable inside some other function. So login frame dot grid forget. Okay, so if I run it, if I click on this login here, you will see the login page, right? But if I click on this sign up here, this will be removed, right? After this, what we want to see this sign up page, right? So in order to see the sign up page, we have to see this sign up frame back, right? And we need to change the window size as well. So we'll copy this window size from here and we'll add it here. So after login frame is removed, we'll change the window size back to the original size. And then we'll add this sign up frame back again. So we'll write grid, row value will be 0, column value will be 0, and then pad y will be 30. So just like we have gridded initially, it will be gridded in the same way. Row 0, column 0, pad by 30. Now if I run it, if I click on login here, we are seeing this login page. If I click on sign up here, we are seeing this sign up page. Okay, but when I'm clicking login here, you can see the title is not changed. It's still sign up window. What I want, when I'm on the login form, the title should change to login window, right? So when you are on the login page, the title should be changed to login window. Once I run it, so currently it's sign up window. If I click on this login here, the title is changed to login window. But when I'm clicking on this sign up here, it's still login window. So when I'm clicking on sign up here, then this sign up page is coming, right? So here also we'll have to do the same thing. I'll paste here and this will be changed back to sign up form. I hope you are getting this. So when I'm clicking on this login here, then this login page code is getting executed. So title is changing to login window, right? And when I'll click on this sign up here button, then the sign up page code is getting executed. So the title will be changed back to sign up window, this title. All right. So I hope this is clear and everything is working perfectly fine. So our GUI part is ready. Now we have to work on the functionality part.